Hello friends, you are welcome to our literary channel Academic Domain. Today I am going to discuss the poem The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. It will be line by line explanation of the poem in English language. And friends, if you want to listen the explanation of the same poem in Hindi language and the critical analysis of the poem, please click the links given in description box. And friends, if you are new to my channel and haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe it and press the bell icon to get notified my new videos. Like, share and give your valuable feedback so that I can do better in my next videos. So before going to the poem, we will discuss few points about the poet. Robert Frost was born in 1874 and died in 1963, was an American poet. He often picked up rural life as a theme for his poems. He received 4 Pulitzer Prizes for his poetry. He was awarded Congressional Gold Medal in 1960 for his poetic works. He became the Poet Laureate of Vermont on 22 July 1961. Frost was nominated for Nobel Prize in Literature 31 times. Some of his best known collections of poetry are first one is New Hampshire, a poem with notes and grace notes, collected poems, a further range, a witness tree. So these were a few points about the poet. Now we will discuss 2-3 points about the poem. Then we will go for the explanation. I had heard this poem. This poem is The Road Not Taken. Is about choice. How one decision can change a person's entire life. It is an ambiguous poem that allows the reader to think about choices in life, whether to go with the mainstream or go it alone. If life is a journey, this poem highlights those times in life when a decision has to be made. So now we will discuss the poem, and there are 4 stanzas in the poem, and every stanza contains 5 lines. So in the first stanza, poet says that 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. So in the first stanza we see that suppose there is a wood and the poet is going there. At one juncture there are 2 roads. So suppose poet is here and there are 2 roads and he has to choose one because he is alone and he cannot take both the roads. So he is standing here and he is thinking that which path should I choose. It means that sometime in our life some situations will be there where we will have options and we have to choose one between 2 or 3. So at that time we should be very careful before choosing that which way or which option we are choosing and how it will influence our life in future. So the same thing is there with the poet. He says that 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood. So he is in a yellow wood. Yellow here shows that the leaves of the trees are yellow. It means that it's autumn season, and 2 roads diverged. So the poet was going and 2 roads diverged means split fogged like this. So 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood and the poet is at the juncture and sorry I could not travel both. Now the poet says that now there are 2 roads and I could not travel both and be one traveler because I am the single person. I am only one traveler, so I cannot travel both the roads. I have to choose one. And long I stood. Again poet says I stood for a long time and I was thinking that which way should I go, which option should I take. So long I stood and looked down one as far as I could, and I looked the one road as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth, and after some distance that road was bent in the undergrowth. Undergrowth means plants, wild plants or the shrubs. So the poet looked at the first road, and after some distance it was bent, and it was its view was blocked by the shrub, by the plants. So here the poet is trying to say that sometimes we are at such juncture from where we have to decide, and we have to choose one path, and that decision will change our life. And suppose you are doing you are in 10th class, or you are in your high school, then after that you will have three options, like you can go for the commerce, you can go for the science, and you can go for the arts. So which one you are going to choose, and whatever you are choosing, it is going to decide your future. Now the second stanza, then took the other. Now the poet says that I looked at one road, and after some distance it was bent into the shrub, and then he left that one. Here it seems that the future was not clear on that road. If he would have gone for that road, if he would have chosen that path, so future was not much clear, and that's why he left that one and then took the other. Then he took the other road, as just as fair. Now the poet says that this road was also as fair as the first one. It means the appearance of both the roads were almost same, and having perhaps the better claim. And now the poet says that the second road which I have chosen, it had better claim than the first one. It was more appealing than the first one. I thought that I could reach my destination by following the second road than the first road, because it was glossy and wanted wear. Now the poet says that it was glossy. It means that grasses were there, and it wanted wear. Wanted means lagged. Lagged. So it wanted wear. It means that it was not traveled by many people. It wanted wear. It was not traveled by the people. It lagged traveling. So, and here we see that the road which is followed by many people is not chosen by the poet. He has taken the road which was not, which was not followed by, which was not traveled by many people. So because it was glossy and wanted wear, so I choose the second one because it was glossy, and it wanted wear because it was not traveled much. Though as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same. Now, poet says that in the beginning, the poet says that this one is less traveled by, but again he says that, but when you see properly, when you observe properly, so both the roads were almost the same. So here says that though as for the second road which was less traveled by, passing there, the walking of the people, they had warned them really about the same. So the poet says that when you talk about the second road, when you talk about the less traveled road, so the traffic had made them all both the roads same. It means that by the walk of the people, by their footsteps, so the condition, the situation, the appearance of both the roads were about same. Now the third stanza, and both that morning equally lay. Now the poet says that, and that morning, it means that it is morning time and it is autumn season, and in that morning both the roads were equally laying, and both the roads were they were equal in appearance. In leaves no step had trodden black, and both the roads were in leaves, because it was autumn season and leaves were fallen on the ground, and it was not trodden black. It was not turned black by crushing the people, by crushing the footstep. So it means that it was not crushed by the people and turned black. It was not both the roads were not traveled. It means that the poet was the first one to travel on these roads in the morning. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Now the poet has taken the second road, and he says that I kept the first one for the another day. And the poet thought that some other time I will come back and I will take the first road, yet knowing how way leads on to way. And yet knowing, the poet knew that it is very difficult to come back and take this road, because when we are going to one road, again we may have two or three roads. Again, suppose we are taking this one, again we may have roads, again we may have roads. So the way leads on to way. It means that there will be ways after way. So again, suppose you reached here, it's very difficult to come back and start from here again. So the poet is telling the same thing that, and suppose you are in your 10th class, after doing your suppose you have taken the commerce, after doing your BCom, MCom, it's very difficult to come back again and take the science or the art after 10th level. So the poet is telling the same thing, that yet knowing way leads on to way. How way leads on to way? The poet says that yet I knew that it's very difficult for me to come back, because one way leads on to the other way, but I kept the first for another day. But I thought that okay, sometimes I will come and I will take the another road. I doubted if I should ever come back. The poet says that I doubted that I will come back, I should ever come back, that I doubted that I will ever come back again and to take the first road. Now the last stanza, I shall be telling this with a sigh. Now, somewhere ages after ages, of ages and ages hence. So after ages, after years, I shall be telling with a sigh. Sigh may be sigh of relief, sigh of sorrow, sigh of happiness, sigh of contentment, anything. So the poet says that I shall be telling with this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. So after years, to my children, to my grandchildren, to my friends, I will be telling that what I will be telling with a sigh, what two roads diverged in a wood. And long back, I was in a wood and I was passing there. So two roads were diverged. At one juncture, there were two options, and I had taken one, and I took the one less traveled by, and I took the one road which was less traveled by, which was not traveled by many people. So I have taken that road, I have taken that option, I have taken that choice which was not chosen by many people, which was chosen by less people, and that has made all the differences, that has made all the difference. So, and because of that choice, because of that option, because of that decision which I had taken long back, it had changed my life, and whatever I am today, I am because of that decision.